A big welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to another yet informative and important video where we're going to be updating you with regards to all the changes that are happening to the UK immigration, UK visa rules in line with the definite implementation on the 22nd of July 2025. And in this video, we're going to be talking about all the changes, particularly in line with the care worker visa. This is of interest because I came to the UK on a care visa. So for me, this is said reality and this is a lived experience. All the more reasons why I'm so invested. I spent so much time following it up, researching, and I've committed to bring it to you and share as everything unfolds. And I do have fears, I do have concerns, and I'll be sharing in videos my fears and my forecast for the future. So let's get right into it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about all the changes that are coming in, particularly for carers, for caregivers, because a lot of you have been asking me, so what's next? So what is changing? And this video, I'm going to be answering all those questions. So there are 4 major changes that are of interest if you're a carer in this country, or if you have been preparing or thinking about relocating to the UK as a caregiver. 4 things are of interest. The route is coming to an end. They are closing the care worker visa for UK on the 22nd of July 2025. If you remember very well, or if you've been following this channel, we've been giving out videos. They've done so many changes, so many implementations. Since I think I can give you an example for when I came to the UK in 2002, it was just easy. People were coming with their dependents on a care worker visa. But in 2024, they stopped dependents from coming on a care worker visa. Only the main applicant could come and they were not allowed to bring their dependents along. This year, I did a video again. They increased the salary threshold for sponsorship. But again, I think all of those implementations have not worked. And they've come to a decision where this visa is coming to an end on the 22nd of July 2025. There is a bit of a leeway. If you have been issued a certificate of sponsorship already at the time of the announcement of this rule change, you still can apply for a visa and come to the UK. And guys, disclaimer, I'm not replacing immigration advice. So, of course, I do share what I would have read, researched, and what I live every day as a migrant, as a care worker who relocated to the UK. So this is not to replace expert advice, immigration advice, and also for detailed official information, go and refer to the gov.uk website. I'll share the link in the description. So the other thing that is changing on the 22nd of July is that if you are already in the UK as a carer, there is a transitional phase up until the 22nd of July 2022. And here are some of the things that are going to be happening until that time. So you are allowed to renew your visa. Suppose you're on a 3-year worker, 5-year, and it's ending before the 22nd of July 2028, you can renew that visa. The other thing that can happen during this transitional phase of up until the 22nd of July 2028, you can switch visas. So what that means is you can switch from one employer to another within the same sector. And of course, this also applies for dependents. I'll give you an example. Suppose you came on a dependent worker visa and you are wanting to switch into care to get your own sponsorship. This is still allowed. This is still, so there's no need for people to be panicking, because there are quite a number of circumstances that can lead one into wanting to switch from being a dependent to becoming a main applicant or to become the main sponsorship holder. So many reasons, personal, some professional, some qualification based. So that will still be allowed until the 22nd of July 2028. The other thing which is of key note is applying for settlement. There has been elements going around since the white paper rule. They said they wanted to implement the application of indefinite leave to remain from route onto 10-year route. So in these new changes that they implemented on the 1st of July, they've reiterated the fact that if you're on a care worker visa, up until the 22nd of July 2028, you can actually apply for settlement. Suppose your 5 years are ending, maybe your 5-year stay reaches next year or this year or in 2026 or 2027 or January 2028, you still can apply for your indefinite leave to remain in this country. So this is good news for some. This is sort of like calming for some people like myself. At least it gives me a sense of hope, because there's so many things, so many benefits that actually comes with settlement. And I hope to do a video on this, because this is so important and this is of interest. So again, I'll always share and say I am a positive person, and I love to share hope, and I urge people to be calm, to look at things from a different angle, and we have to continue in that positive manner, in that positive light, encouraging each other, giving hope to each other, and sharing alternatives and what other people are already doing. Because I guarantee you, my inbox has been buzzing with people asking for advice, giving me their proposals, and sharing with me their plans for the future. So all hope is not lost. The third thing that is of key note if you're a caregiver in this country is the fact that still they've upheld the fact that you cannot bring dependents to the UK. Suppose if you came to this country after, or you attained your visa after the 11th of March 2024, definitely you cannot bring your dependents, which means you can't bring your children. But if you came before that, you still can bring your dependents. So they've literally upheld that. I'll share in this video why I still do feel in the future they can still allow sponsors or allow care companies to actually recruit from overseas. I'll share in this video. It's just my thoughts and my analysis and the way I see things with this clause where they said no dependence being something that I thought, well, I think this visa could still be somewhere, hidden somewhere, or there is a backdoor actually literally allowing carers. I'll share. So all the more reasons why you need to watch this video until the end. So the fourth thing that is of keynote if you're a caregiver in this country is the fact that going forward, or if you're wanting to come to the UK, going forward, definitely for sponsorship, there are 2 requirements that they would require for somebody to be sponsored from overseas. There is an RQ level 6 requirement, which means you need to be a degree holder for you to be sponsored to come from overseas and do any job or even care job in this country. If you do not hold the RQF level 6 or a degree, what that means is your sponsor should be willing also to pay you a salary of £41,700 per year. Now that is like ridiculous. I know when I came to this country, the threshold for sponsorship was around £21,700 per year. We were earning, minimum wage was at £10.50 for you to be sponsored. And now they've literally like doubled that. I'll share you from experience. When I look at the starting salaries, even for degreed people like nurses, they start from as low as like £29,000. So who would pay £40,000 just to bring an overseas worker? So if you're watching this video, or if you know somebody who is been preparing to come as a caregiver, point them to this video so that they can rethink the whole process, rethink their qualifications, rethink the whole route that they want to pursue. And if they can do something or start preparing, it's never too late. I believe in relocation. I believe in the diaspora journey. I believe in starting all over again. We just have to prepare for what's coming. We just have to be prepared for what's coming. And like I always say, these are lands of opportunities. So you prepare for opportunities. They don't get presented on a silver platter. Opportunities are never below hanging fruits. So you fight, you prepare, you qualify for opportunities. At least that is what I believe in. And also this message goes out to carers. If you are in this country already, I'll do a separate video on some of the things that we can start doing. But part and parcel of what we need to start thinking is rethinking our skill level. There's still time until 2028. They've already said they want highly qualified people. So now where do you stand in this land of opportunity so that you prepare for the future, so that you fit into the criteria for sponsorship in the future, so that you fit into the society that they are preparing for in the future as a migrant, as a caregiver. So secondly, these announcements and these changes are coming along with a lot of confusion, a lot of fear, a lot of uncertainty as to like nobody really expected it to be so quick. From the time they announced the white paper, we thought, well, it could take like that long. But I think we are learning along the way to say in this country, in the UK, things can change overnight. Policies, laws can change overnight. So some of you have been asking me, like, where is this coming from? We've been ambushed. Sentiments have been coming from all over. I want to share with you why these changes have come into place. The top of the agenda is reduction in net migration. This has been topical. If you follow the news in this country, I've done a lot of videos. I've shared on a lot of platforms with you and with others. Net migration is quite topical. The biggest culprit is the care worker visa. The number of care workers that came is just appalling. It's unbelievable. Of course, if you are a carer yourself like myself, this was an opportunity that I grabbed with both hands. But for those people who do not have family members that are being looked after or cared for by a migrant caregiver, they may not understand the importance. So no wonder why there's been a huge outcry and no government is given in. So you can't fault them. The numbers really are quite huge. Close to 1 million people came, including caregivers and their dependents, did together to bring it to nearly 1 million. So definitely on the agenda is to reduce net migration. The second reason why they've actually said we're putting an end to this is to promote or encourage domestic workforce. If you do follow the news, you hear that they've been talking about wanting to attract a lot of locals, especially in the care sector. And you ask why the care sector. Again, I'll share with you. This is not a highly skilled industry. It doesn't require high skills. So it will be easier to integrate and employ the local people. It doesn't require much, or it doesn't take long to train someone to fit into care. No wonder why, again, it attracted so many people, so many migrants, so many overseas workers, the care worker route. It didn't require much skill. It didn't require so many qualifications. And it's that job that you can quickly be trained through shadowing and actually be good at what you're doing. So they're hoping to attract as many locals in the workforce. Whether or not it will yield results, we don't know. No wonder why, again, they've just stopped recruiting from overseas. But I believe there is another way. Why do I feel there is another way? If you have watched the video that I made on these changes, if you haven't, please do go and watch it, because you'll be able to link all the things that we're talking about in this video and in the future videos, because there is so much that we need to talk about as far as all these rules are concerned and bring clarity. They talked about bringing in what they call the temporary shortage occupation list, which is a pathway which is time limited. This one will be a year work visa, which does not allow dependents for those industries that really need. And I have got a good feeling that the care industry, construction industry are part and parcel of those industries that are going to need to still be added on the temporary shortage occupation list. So I do believe if you're hopeful, if you're optimistic like myself, you can still keep your fingers crossed, because I believe the care worker visa is just going to come again, but under the temporary shortage occupation list. Why do I say that? At the moment, at this time I've checked, 130,000 vacancies are out there in the care sector. Now, where are those 130,000 people going to come from? We'll wait and see, but that's my good feeling. And I'll also make a video as well about the temporary shortage occupation list. So all the more reasons why you need to stick on this channel as we go on to explain everything that was said on the 1st of July as far as migration is concerned. So the third reason why they've stopped this care worker route is to try and curb and address the exploitation and abuse that has been happening in the sector. They tried by all means to bring in policies and, exploitation, the corruption, what was happening with the care abuse is just beyond what I could imagine. People went through so much. People were, from modern day slavery to abuse to extortion. A lot of things happened. And we knew, we've been talking about it, we knew at some point they were just gonna stop it, because it wasn't serving. Fine, it was serving the purpose that it was serving, but along the way, a lot of unexpected abuse, unexpected exploitation was happening behind the scenes. So this is part and parcel of the reasons why they've just literally said we're doing away with the care worker visa. 3 groups of people, or 3 groups of, stakeholders are quite concerned within the care sector, or as far as the end to the care visa is concerned. I'll start with the care employers themselves. They are the ones who are custodians of the actual work. They are the ones who serve the clients with contracts with clients. part and parcel of what they're worrying about right now. One friend of mine, who an employer, reached out to me, and it's just not what we expected. We expected stricter regulations, stricter visa requirements, but an end to this care visa. We are scared levels are just going to go down. We are scared we may not be able to have the staff that we need us to be able to serve our clients. Now that's worrying, because the industry was heavily relying on overseas care workers, and the work is still there. 130,000 vacancies in the care industry. So they are a bit concerned whether or not that would prompt the Migration Advisory Committee to then maybe rethink and bring care workers, senior care workers, under the temporary shortage occupational list. We don't know. We can only hope and pray, and also keep our fingers crossed. The second group of people which is very concerned are carers. I'm a carer myself. I'm a caregiver. I am quite concerned. It's confusing with these rules coming. It's the increase is just so much. I do have friends who came a few months ago, who were hoping they will be able to reunite with their loved ones, with family and friends. But that might not happen for some of those people, because they've said no more dependents. They've been saying it for a while, and they've said it time and again. I know some people, as someone who believes in the relocation journey and migration, you would think, well, if one partner comes on a care worker visa, the other partner will follow again on a care worker visa. But then now that is coming to an end on the 22nd of July, which means those people may be for life, unless or otherwise, or unless they rethink where and when they're going to reunite. So it's beyond anybody's control, and people are really, really worried. The third group of people that is quite worried and concerned are the sector leaders. And unions are a bit worried. Why? They know what's on the ground. They know the staffing levels. They know the demand for care workers. They know how difficult it is to attract the local labor without increasing the minimum wage in the care sector. But is the government ready to fund the care sector like that? We don't know, but concerned, because they know the demand. They know that the backbone of the care sector is care workers. So everybody is just concerned. We wait and we see. So there you have it. The care worker visa, as you know it, is coming to an end. The 22nd of July, 2025. These are changing and volatile times. This is not just any policy change. We've been used to policy changes in terms of dependence, in terms of salary threshold and other things. But this is the final nail on the coffin. This is the reality. It's coming to an end. And it's life-changing for families, for employers, and the future of the care industry, the care sector, health and social care in the country. But we wait and see as everything unfolds, optimistic and positive. If you're already a carer in the UK, this is not the time for panic and fear. A time to be hopeful, a time for re-strategizing, looking at other options, and also upscaling. That's all I had for you in this important update video. So if you found this very helpful, please hit a like, subscribe if you haven't done so, and thank you so much for your support. Leave a comment, and I will personally be replying to the comments as we go, because it's my goal. I'm interested in this. I want also to know your thoughts, your fears, and what's happening where you are at. If you are still overseas and you were thinking, I want to relocate to the UK, the window is closing very fast. But like I said in this video, watch out for the temporary shortage occupation list. And occupation list is coming up. They said it's coming up, and we don't know what to expect in that. And I do have a strong feeling that the care worker occupation is going to be among the temporary shortage occupation list. It has got its pros and cons, but at least it's a chance. And all the more reasons why you need to watch out for that video, because it's coming soon. I'm working on it, and I'll bring it to you because I feel it's a window of opportunity for our people. That's all I had for you in this video. I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.